Hello and welcome to another edition of the Akashic Portal Weekly Insights from the Illuminating Journey Cards that I created with the guidance of the Akashic Records. I'm Jen Duchenne of jenduchenne.com. Welcome. I prepared the cards asking what we need to know for this week, the 19th through the 25th of October. I felt a really sensation of like light water rushing through. So it feels like a really big week for shifts, revelations, expansion, exposure, all of those things that maybe we've held under the surface or have not been aware of. We're feeling the flow of it all. Let's see what the cards have to say. Oops, one card fell down. So the first card that comes up is Soul Portal 25. It's interesting because I'm actually using a brand new deck of my cards. I opened a new deck because I'm in a new phase, and so I opened a new deck. And this is very exciting. 25. So first of all, the week ends with a 25, so I think it's pretty portentous to have this card coming up. The other thing that's very interesting to me is that this part here, which is the labyrinth of the rose, the chart window, which is this energy, this portal of light codes coming through to awaken our hearts and to awaken our wombs and our third eye, all of these areas around that promote growth and shift. So that's kind of it feels like this is this revelation, this awareness of our own meeting of these parts of the mind, meeting the body and the soul, and stepping into a new space, like just moving forward, standing there. Whether we're a stranger in a strange land is kind of immaterial because this is all new. This is the time to look at the life we have through new eyes, through joyful eyes, even though there's a lot of things happening that we may not like, we may not enjoy. This is like a calibration point where we get to reframe, rephrase, rethink, re-anoint what is sacred to us. So we're coming from that place of sacred joy, delight, lusciousness of life, of being here in the physical plane, as opposed to denying it, wanting to push it away, wanting to make it more uncomfortable, more painful, more of a struggle. So this is speaking to that, this idea of landing in the place that maybe is familiar and knowing I am home, and this is for me to now find my path in this. And there's a lot of circles in here, so very much this idea of plunging into the circle of life, into the earth of life. And there is also the castle, the magic, right? The magic is not denied, but we want to use the magic in a way that enhances our experience as opposed to makes us feel less than or weak because we need that to illuminate our experience. So the figure itself could be you, could be the way you're looking at something, getting a new view, a new awareness, something coming into you new. But the light, it's engulfed in the light, the energy of the cosmos, the space shift, this, not only that, but bringing this kind of energy of the cosmos into the land, into your way of being. So very much a sense of the wisdom of your soul being embodied on earth, and the awareness of how you look at life through this new lens. So I find that very interesting. Let's see what the second card is. I'm going to pick up the one on the floor, the 24 that flew out. I think what's interesting about it, and I know this card has appeared up a couple of times in the last few readings, is this energy of this card, the 24. So we just had the 24, 25, and now we have the 24. And the 24 is about this idea of being, it's a 6. It's about this idea of loving ourselves, loving our lives, loving the wealth of who we are, the experience of the wealth we're having and that we live in by being on this manifesting plane, this plane of density, that we can actually not only think ideas, receive ideas, but actually take them out into the world. So this is very much a time of practicing what we preach. We talk about loving each other, about being kind, about, bringing light in. And that's not denying the dark. It is finding the equilibrium between it. So it is our actions that are supporting what we say. Are the words that we say supported by our actions? Our beliefs supporting the words we say, the heart of the matter, like, moving from a place of strife to a place of being in kindness with yourself and with the world. So treating people kindly, even if they have a different opinion, which doesn't mean they get to push you around. There's a big difference between, being kind, open-hearted, and letting someone push you around, right? The two are not the same. So this figure here is with this magic wand, again, that kind of repetition of what is available to us. Here we have a castle, here we have a castle, here we have the land, here we have the land, we have water here, water here. So a continuation of that. What is it that we're dreaming into being? What is it, the vision we're holding? What are we expecting? Because so many times, myself included, I have to really stop watching my language, even when I'm agreeing with someone, like verbally, right? When they're saying, well, people always do stupid things or whatever it is. It's like, no, I don't want to hold that vibration for people, because I know they have the potential to do more, be more, step into this space, like come into their own, right? Coming in, stepping into the light, into the awareness that, dark is a measure of light. It is not a separation. And that this is this, what is it? What are you giving your attention to, your energy to, your fruition to, your, the desire, right? What are you bringing forward into reality? What are you holding that you can step into? So this feels very much like a journey of stepping in. We start here, stepping into this space. It's like we've moved from arriving to going closer to the water, to the energy, and going, okay, this is the vision I hold for my new arrival. This is what I envision for me, who I am right now, who I'm being, what's coming forward. And then the third card, that's interesting, because I was just getting information about the magic bean today, so I find that really interesting, the magic bean, the third card. So the magic bean is one of the tools in this deck. This deck has 3 different types of cards. The portals, you've just seen 2 portals, of which there are 35, and then there's 7 tools and 10 numbers. So they work, the cards work with each other. So the magic bean, or a tool, is really the way we get to these places, to the understanding of here. And we've talked about magic already. The castle, here's another castle, the idea of what's, how we determine what magic is, right? What's available. Is it something that's available to us? We tend to think of magic or, hopes and wishes and things like that are outside of us, that we're, the beggars at the door, we're the beggars at the castle saying, oh, bring me magic, I need a fairy godmother, instead of going, okay, the magic lives within me, right? And it is the way I get to be more articulate, more outspoken, and more in charge of my own choices, my soul, my free will, the things I choose to do. So that is very fascinating, that it brings together the greens and the kind of oranges, yellows of each of these cards. There's an aspect here, kind of green. There's green here too, and then there's kind of this yellow. And when I think about the magic bean, it's like this idea of what's the promise that we are setting aside or discounting, the things we have that we can bring into the now, our ability to choose from the heart, to speak from the heart, to be loving to ourselves, to each other, to what we're encountering, as opposed to being on the defensive, at war, fighting against, because all of that just drains the magic and makes us feel more hopeless, more divided. So this is about bringing ourselves into the moment and being connected to all that is, as opposed to dividing the magic within us. We want to activate that, and this could be the womb within us. It could be the third eye. It could be the heart. It could be the mix of all, right? Coming through, showing us that there is the potential inside of us to create a vision, to dream big, to have a bigger vision of what we hold for ourselves and for others through the lens of joy, compassion, kindness, what's available to us when we use the magic of love to become more expressed, not in a way that puts us on the defensive, but in a way that puts us in the flow of life. So that's the reading for today. Please let me know what comes up for you. I appreciate your likes and subscribes. And I do have some classes coming up for the Illuminating Journey Cards. So if this is something you're interested in, pay attention, and I will pop the links in the coming videos. I don't have it right now, but I just wanted to let you know I'm having online classes. I talk more about how we connect to our intuition, to our way of being, to our soul, to all of this juiciness within us, the magic within us, by finding a way to read the signs in a whole new way, right? The old system is not going to serve us moving forward, because the old system was for the old way, and now we need a new system. And the Illuminating Journey Cards is certainly one way, a very powerful way of stepping into that energy, to that field, into that path of dissolving the shadows and kind of becoming more aware of yourself. Sending you so much love, so much peace as you move through this week, knowing that it's all open to you, right? This is a pool, a possibility. It's up to you to start stepping into those places that you need to. I'm feeling the same. I'm moving into being more grounded in the female parts of myself that I have put aside, thinking I need to be more of a doer, and moving more and more into being in the energy of who I am, in the energy of being grounded in the female, in the intuitive side, the softer side that allows me to be fierce with and open with more grounded energy. And I believe that this week's reading has a lot to do with that. All right, till next time.